Sunrises.
And we're going.
Okay. We're good? Right.
Okay.
Anna, recap. Let's go.
Hello. Session 183.
We're going to make it to 200, boys.
Fuck.
We must.
Correction, I think it's 184?
I think it's 184 too.
The last one was 183.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing a recap.
Cool. Yeah, sorry.
So 183 was us all convening at the pavilion in Melas for the town meeting. Almost all 600 residents were there, plus all the
Wow, big town.
Tiamat. Wow. There was a spot saved on the council for Bluey, and people had already voted on that ages ago because they're just so confident in this Dragonborn. And so she tries to graciously accept that and promises to be there and do stuff.
I'll be there for you.
But then she gets into all the town's problems with a nice little guarantee that she's telling the truth, including asking an older resident of the town some stuff, and he's like, no, do not spill the secrets. This is not what your father would have wanted. And Blue's like, with all due respect, that man's dead. I don't think you would know what he'd want. I might have also mentioned that she spoke to him recently. Anyway, fun stuff that's all about Tiamat. The church is, well, later on, finding out for the town that, like, yes, Tiamat is, like, drugging people and just encouraging them to keep in line. Keep orderly, which is very odd for a chaos thing. Anyway, and then all of Melis's things of trapping children to harness their magical power to make the town prosper. And if you don't agree with that, you get off to the specially designed Melas Dread Domain, probably in the Shadowfell. And if you do agree to that, then you can't speak of it, and you live on knowing that you've forgotten people. That fact was explained. Mix of reactions, very fun. Louis like, look, the magic that keeps you forgetting, blah blah blah. It's incredibly strong, but it isn't complete, and it's weakening. Rise up, essentially.
Rise up.
Yeah, so that went all right. Valis was there. He'd snuck off. That little cutie.
Do the little dance.
So he helped testify. Yes, Brian and Loran were being very good minders. I feel like the focus came on when he was discovered. Yes. Clara has a way with words, and Bluey asked her to use that for good, for fucking once.
Once. That's so funny.
To funnel people into a very nice druid grove that Brian made. Bluey found out that Tyrese is probably her biological father. Wow.
How do you feel about that, guys?
And is off to hook up with Gundu.
Yay. You guys encouraged that.
Yep. There was encouragement of relations and the scaly side and See, there's probably a regular way to like fall in love with Dragonborn in this world, and then there's certainly a scaly way to do it.
They're all.
Daily way to do it.
If you're a flesh person, Bluey, you're scaly. You're fleshy.
A fleshy?
You're fleshy because you like IT and she's fleshy.
You're
I don't think-
fleshy.
You're fleshy.
I don't think Bluey fetishizes IG for being fleshy.
It's not a fetish. It's just your.
A preference.
It's just your preference.
Embrace it.
Okay,
Love it.
Embrace
There
it.
is the distinction between like fetish, kink, and then I don't know
Guys,
how
this
furry
is not a
stuff
conversation
falls
we can be
into-
having at 8:45 before the games.
Yes, sorry.
We've not even rolled the dice.
Bluey.
I
Okay,
love you guys.
I believe that's it for the recap. We start heading towards the docks to go on a little ship and try to navigate to the tiers, and that is all. I think.
Indeed. This is so true.
So,
Guys.
Indeed, leadly.
Guess what?
but
The manic energy is back this session. I'm dying, but guess who
like
isn't dying?
imitating-
All of you right now, yet.
imitating me with coughing.
I am actually kind of dying, though.
Oh,
However, as Anna so aptly put it, all of that happened. And then you guys started heading towards the docks.
ooh.
So you guys break away from the group.
If anyone just saw me cut my hair off, no, you didn't.
I didn't.
Everyone, you are now heading away from the group of Melas citizens, all the Melas citizens, for what you know, who are currently heading towards the Druid Grove that Alstaer set up. Among their number, you see Clara Cereberos, suggested quite forcefully to also follow her followers into the grove. Whether you stick around or not to see what becomes of her, let's leave a little bit of that to the imagination. But you make your way hurriedly towards the docks, where you know Lynn to be waiting for you. Or at least hope she is. Take you where you need to go. Of course, it's never that simple. There is someone else with you. An unexpected visitor who is about maybe 4'5" tall, roughly of 10 years of age.
Oh, it's bloody Valis.
And is being held by Saraza, probably, by the scruff, unless anybody else wants to take in charge of him.
No, I think Saraza should hold him.
I think.
Okay.
I thought Slee was holding on to him.
Yeah,
Sleia?
and did Sleia request help from Bluey or something? Yeah.
Probably
Sleia?
Slee is not that strong.
Okay, Bluey and Sleia, between you have one arm each, and a flailing Valis in between. Like, get off me!
Valis, if it wasn't the end of the world, we would be sitting down and waiting for your father right now.
Release me!
No.
I'll eat you.
Oh, I thought
Really?
you just wanted to be carried. If not, you can just walk.
If you put me down, I'll eat you even quicker.
Good luck.
Hey, fellas. Do you want to do the thing where, Bluey thinks it's like Valis probably can't draw from personal experience, like being held by two adults and
Being
like
swung.
being swung occasionally. So she sort of describes like, okay, well, Sleia and I could both hold your hand, and then if
Violently
we
swung.
count up,
Yeah.
and on 3 we kind of swing you forward a bit, and you can let your feet go up, and then you hit the ground again as we're
Cocks
walking.
his head. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's very violent and dangerous, Valis.
Does that describe it to him adequately?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Be violent. Bring
If
it
Slee's
on.
alright. If Slee's alright with that, I'd love to do
Wesley
that.
is fine with trying it.
Right. As you rush through Melas towards the end of the world, you swing a child between you. He
Quite
kicks
a
his
large
feet
child.
Up. A large child between you. He
He's
kicks
10.
his feet up. I need both of you to make me strength saving throws. Well, no, strength checks. Strength checks. Probably less for you.
Hilarious.
I rolled a 16, so that's a 15.
Okay. It's not terrible.
I shouldn't have picked this dice.
I mean, it's pretty great for Slia with the negative strength.
21? Yeah.
Understood. Understood. Indeed. Good. He kicks his feet up. He soars. He's soaring.
Flying.
There's not a star in heaven that he can't reach. But then he lands back down, and you see the emotional, nostalgic intensity of that moment, that weird need for children and even adults who are too big for it to be swung, was ignited within him at that moment, and he's like, again,
Sarah,
Alright.
can you swing me?
no,
Why?
I'll throw my back.
I don't weigh anything.
I think I'm not going to.
Loran, can you swing me?
Well,
I have another arm, Blue says.
Bluey and Loran, can you swing me as well?
I will certainly try. Loran steps forward, Sarah, and says, no, you'll hurt yourself. It's better I do it. If I have help, then I'm happy.
Taraza, you're literally a giant.
I'm also kind of old.
You've also carried me in one hand before.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm joining in. He goes and holds Bluey's hand.
Okay, right. Both of you make me... Well, Bluey, one more strength check, please.
That's a natural 20.
Also goes even higher.
That's enough. So you hear Sarah's shoulder kind of crack a little bit. He's like, oh! Valis is like, I'm jealous. Higher.
It's a competition.
Okay.
Wait, Valis is a tall 10-year-old and also is a small young adult. It's probably not huge.
Valis is like a foot shorter than you.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not a huge difference.
Higher! I want to be taller than him.
Loran, you're taller than I am. You should switch out with me.
Absolutely not. Yes. Yes, I'll do it.
Thank you.
I could sense the kind of look Slayer was giving him as he was saying that.
I just know that you're much stronger than I am, and Valis will have a better time.
58 inches.
That's very funny.
Not sure about how much stronger than you I am, but I will certainly try. Valis, engage with my hand.
Also 7 inches taller than Valis.
Yeah.
I want to figure it out.
Wait. How tall is Alstaer again?
5'6".
Valis is
4'10".
4'5".
That's below average. He's a tall kid.
No, so he's 4'5".
He's a 10-year-old. He should be much taller than that.
He's runtish. He was raised for 6 years in the Underdark.
It's my character. I disagree.
It's not going to say that. He's going to grow.
We'll discuss this later. I disagree.
He's shorter than Cass.
I don't think this is relevant.
Who has
Okay.
custody
Well,
over his
regardless,
height?
I've seen some very short 10-year-olds. But anyway.
You've already wrested this character away from me. Let me give him his height.
I think it's not really that relevant. So anyway. It's not that important.
No.
Are you... Hang on a sec.
Okay.
Oh, sunrise is at 7. Oh, okay.
So all of you make it down to the docks. Is there anything you guys want to do before we get into the next part of the game?
How's the weather looking? Or will that be covered?
Make me a perception check.
Can both of us?
I don't want to go into the next bit. I don't want to go into the next bit until Lily's back upstairs.
Okay.
But I don't want to pause it just because we're a little bit short on time today. So if you guys want to get anything,
perception.
Yeah.
That's about right for Slia.
Yeah.
12.
13.
Okay. So neither of you really have the skill that Alstaer has in seeing things, but you can kind of vaguely judge the weather. And there are still some of those storm clouds, that light rain, mostly gathered from what had kind of been naturally kind of occurring around the area. But Alstaer kind of made that Druid Grove with the cyclone of like sunlight above it. So it's like a sheet of grey, a little circle of bright, beautiful blue sky, and then grey again. There is still a drizzle.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not very early, but it's quite early in the morning. So it's not like it's still not like the brightest it's going to be, but it's by no means dark.
Does yes, okay. Thank you, Aylin. Does the sun rise in the east, set in the west in this world?
Yep, same as the UK. Same as our world.
So if Melas faces west, right? The kind of cliffs, so it wouldn't
North.
be getting sort of full sun until
It's like the north and the northwest area of the Praia. Yeah.
So we wouldn't be getting sun until sort of like mid-morning or late morning or something.
No. Yeah. I mean, yes, you're correct. No, they wouldn't get sun.
I know what you mean. I know that French differentiates between like it like there is a word for like no, you're correct or something. It's like anyway. I don't know what it is. I just remember hearing about it. Chill in the air, probably. Okay.
I think Loran will offer to warm you all up by letting a low level of heat kind of like exude from him, if you wish.
He is so hot.
He can turn his body into a little furnace.
A little furnace.
A little furnace.
Excuse me.
Just so you're aware, as you're swinging Valis, he has now fallen asleep.
Oh.
In between the two of you. He's just like... And as he sleeps, you see from his jacket just spills, like, as he's kind of like swinging and flopping, spills forth stolen goods from each of you.
Oh.
Flowers, mostly, from Alstaer.
Oh. Okay.
What did he steal from Slia?
Let me just tell you. Give me one sec.
Also, we'll say that the top of that easel over there, in the light, when it looks like a little weird man, like a long man. Like
Yeah,
long man.
Long man. my campaigns. The Disappointment Crew. Celia, from you. The thing. Oh, there it is. Celia, you are missing you kind of touch your cleric's pack and you realize that you're missing a couple of things from there. A block of incense, some of your writing tools. That's about it. They're just on the floor, Valis having taken them at some point during the adventure.
Slayer just kind of tucks them back into his things.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bluey,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
No, I'm guessing the reason that Slea's not okay, could either be that they're gonna wait until we're seeing Valis off, or they're not eager to reclaim those items because Slea doesn't think she'll be on this
She'll need
mortal coil
Yeah.
and need writing implements. Oh,
Okay. Louis,
yeah.
you pat your sides, and you're missing a dagger, a very specific dagger, a dagger which you received from actually Valis as Nerio, and it's to be the stage dagger. Now, Alstaer, I'll just explain really quickly. Valis has fallen asleep midway because he has narcolepsy, and as they swung him, a load of stolen contraband has fallen out of his jacket, and the first thing you see is a scattering of petals from all the flowers he's stolen from you, as you've been making them. A block of incense, some calligrapher's quills, a stage dagger from Bluey, and Alstaer. Your passive perception is pretty high.
21.
But he is born from greatness. You see the strangest thing fall out of his outfit, of his jacket. You haven't seen this in quite some time. But it does evoke many a memory in you as a kind of spill of sheer, beautiful carnet fabrics that might perhaps be used in a courtesan costume. Just kind of fall out of his jacket, corset and all. He said, "That was me."
Also will return them to Loran.
I don't think those are mine.
They were originally.
They're a gift to you then.
Alstair hurriedly puts them in his bag.
Uh-huh. You guys can collect your things if you wish. Lots of flowers there too.
Well, I have spare clothes if anyone, needs them.
No, I don't.
No, you really don't seem to like clothes that much anymore.
No. Apparently not. I'm just getting used to this.
Are you not cold?
I'm literally irradiating heat. My chest is a furnace.
Alstair looks down at Loran's chest, is like, something else thinks you're cold, and keeps walking.
The goosebumps on my arms, and Loran follows after. So you guys are actually quite in a rush, in spite of all
Despite all these comments.
All these comments.
And the narcoleptic child.
And the narcoleptic child. you can't help but steal from a lot of them. And the biscuit.
I don't have any biscuits.
I had a crinkle and I was like, biscuits? Digestives?
Yeah, but digestives aren't fun. Only the Viennese wells are fun.
There's lavender biscuits even.
I should make those again.
You should.
I have some
Nice.
emotional
Yeah.
support digestives
Anyway.
on my table over there for later.
Also, there's no more room on the bookshelf.
I have a bookshelf here. We could start using.
We need to get another one.
Yeah.
I was making tea and I was reorganizing the bookshelf and it's nothing to reorganize really. It's just full.
Full.
Yeah.
Well, good thing
I
you
will
get
not
that new
compromise
one.
the fairy doors.
No, I don't want to compromise the fairy doors either.
But anyway, as we continue, you guys follow the path that Monsesvald, Mr. X, took you down. He's still here. He's with you. Just remember that.
Oh, I forgot you were here. You have so little presence.
I've been leading you this whole time as we've been running towards the docks.
How's Avrulne?
Um,
And your daughter?
I think she's quite content with our relationship continuing from a distance. Why am I telling you this? I don't owe you anything about my personal life.
I was good friends with Avrulne.
Yeah, but we're just good colleagues.
I was just inquiring.
Avrolne, I'm sure, can tell you all about it.
She said you guys aren't really together anymore.
Yeah, well, that would be true. So she did tell you all about it, did she? How did she say? How did she sound when she was talking about that? Was she?
Oh, I can't tell you because we're not close, good personal friends. And that would be disclosing personal information from my good, close personal friend Avrulne.
He runs away. Lorenzo's very good.
I feel like I've just gotten a bit meaner since our marriage.
Yeah.
Not as savage as Sleer, though.
No, you could have hammered that home a little harder. Made him cry. What? Where did that come from? You know, I've been having these weird lapses of like personality over the last couple of hours.
Also, just pats his shoulder. Come on.
Okay. Why do I wait? And he's got like your wrist in a vice grip. Wait, what? I can't control my hands. It's crazy. I can't let you go.
So just gives a look back to the rest of the party, like,
You guys seem so sad. For what? I'm having a great time.
anyway, we have until tomorrow.
To save the world. Yes, you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
La 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 la.
If we don't do it before then, we'll have more than Elijah to deal with.
You'll have Alarm too.
Yeah. Or maybe Tiamat, and maybe something much worse. We don't know.
And you carry on. You eventually make it to the docks. And here, as you're kind of rushing forwards, there's like a bit of a kerfuffle, and you kind of come around the corner too fast, and all of you kind of like hit each other like in a cartoon style, like all up from the back. And when you kind of like right yourselves again, looking around, taking in your surroundings, you notice that Valus has put back on his serious vibe.
I thought he was asleep.
Disguise.
Suppose?
Mid-sleep.
And is there something wrong with Valus, Leah? Leah.
Can I do
So, yeah.
an insight check on Valus?
You may. You may.
Alright. That's a 26.
With a 26. Valus, you kind of lean up to him, and he's like,
What's wrong?
I was pretending to be asleep the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't just fall asleep.
That's fine, but what's wrong?
Nothing's wrong.
And you just look like that on a whim.
I just want to put it on because this place gives me bad vibes.
Can I insight check Alice?
You may.
Hang on. You don't have to kill someone to
Wear their
take
face.
this. You don't have to. In the way the Valus is doing it.
Alice says, "What do you think I'd kill someone? I'm like 10."
He already has killed someone.
It's true. But I wouldn't kill an innocent person, not like my dad. It's both of them.
My insight check on him was 19.
19. Okay, so Valus seems to be a little bit nervous, actually. More so as they've come towards this kind of area of the docks where, you know, the full view of Melas is right behind you and the ocean is ahead of you. There are sort of like they're sort of like petering out of the buildings towards the coastal the coastal walk, and the docks are to the left, the sort of sands are to the right. He seems a little bit on edge. And
You're right, Valus.
Blue was right, wasn't she? She said that I was like evidence.
Yeah.
And obviously because we're running away from a bunch of people, off to do something spooky, people are following us. I just kind of wanted to like make sure I was wearing a face that wasn't mine, so that they would confuse me. And
People
if they had to
following?
kill someone, they might kill the other one. But no, to answer your question, Sia, I don't necessarily need to kill them to do this. Do you want to know why?
I didn't ask that, but
I didn't.
Well, I'm so glad that well, I wanted to tell you anyway.
Oh, Valus.
Mhm.
Well, hopefully your parents
Yes.
come and pick you up soon.
Yes. But I wanted to tell.
are you?
Okay, I would say.
No, you can tell us.
I don't want to.
You obviously do.
Don't say you don't understand. I don't.
Are you worried
Alice?
about being the things you heard
Be-
at the meeting?
Oh, the world ending and all that.
I was
Or is it
more worried thinking about
Well, like,
sacrifice.
Well, that's just the beginning if this goes wrong.
Well, it's just that, you know, I saw a lot of my more powerful childhood friends be sent off to places they would never return from. And I've had a really good time learning from Dural and very briefly from Karul. And I know that what I can do is more flexible, a bit more versatile. I don't have to kill, for example, that Dural can do. I guess that comes from Karul a little bit. It's a mix of the two. So it feels like as I've gotten more powerful, I've also become a little more nervous and sleepy for some reason.
I think your parents should take you to therapy.
I want to go to bed.
That you right now?
I'm kind of struggling to keep my eyes open, but I'm fine. I'm just
Louis, maybe carry him like a princess.
princess.
There's nothing wrong with being a
I'm not a
princess.
wizard.
Really not.
I don't want to play the princess role. I want to play the like old man wizard.
What's wrong with being a princess?
Nothing. I just don't think I'm strong enough to be a princess.
The princess needs to sleep sometimes. Bluey, just you know what I mean.
alright, come on, old man wizard, and she picks up Valus.
I'm just imagining Markle from
Yeah.
Halloween Castle. Like,
So yeah. He kind of walks ahead with Leah a bit. Maybe when we have a moment, if you could just check Alice, because I'm not really good with the whole medical side of trauma, but if he collapses on us midway through the tiers, it's going to be difficult to protect him.
We need to get him to his parents before we go into the tiers. We can't afford
Let's
to
hope
take
Joel
him
can
into
show
it.
up. It's if Sorelleras brings them through.
Mhm.
Do you want to have Loran message Sorelleras directly?
That's an option. Loran,
Hello.
new with that. If you could just message Sorelleras
But of course.
and just say, could you please open a door so we can give Valis back to Joel?
I will do this for you. For free. Because a child's safety is at stake and I'm not a horrible person.
Would you charge me anyway?
No. Ring ring.
We have a joint account.
Ring ring. Anyway. What do you want to say to Sir Evans? Anybody can everyone throw in your answers. See what gets through.
Please let
Please let
Joral and Coral bring their son back through your door. Thanks.
anyone else?
We in Melas near docks.
Hello, Sir Elias. So yeah, any additions?
No, Louis caught the only thing I would have added, so.
Okay, I'm just gonna rehearse that in my brain. Hello, Sorella Rouse, and I have a message from my 3 friends. Oh, it's done. No, I'm joking, it's not. We're in Melas, near the docks. Sleer has nothing to add. Please bring Giral and Crawl if there's space. Okay, love you, bye. That was weird.
You can see just the brain synapses short circuiting.
Yeah, it's odd. I'm having an odd kind of. It's like I'm going through all the stages of grief at once.
Right. Well, we'll just keep an eye on that.
Can I,
If you are feeling.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, I was just like, can Sleeve medicine check Valis while we're waiting on the reply?
you may.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go.
That is a 28. Wait. Yeah.
That's a good medicine.
Understood. With a 28, there is nothing magically wrong with him. Physically, I mean, he bears all the hallmarks of a child who has who hasn't had the best start in life. I mean, yeah, not quite as filled out and structurally sound as he should be. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's like in a bad way. Medicine checks though aren't really gonna get into the trauma, the mental state. But you can do your best guess, which is that he is scared and he is having a response to that fear. Part of that is falling asleep. You know that narcolepsy is a genuine thing people suffer from, even in this.
And can be induced by stress. Talia will convey that to Alstaer.
Okay.
Well, let's just hope we can return him to sender soon.
Mom says out says, is anyone worried about the fact that he said we were being followed?
What?
Yeah, can Bluey perception check around for anyone perhaps tailing them?
Yeah, make me a perception check. And anybody who would like to join in, like
21.
8.
16.
right. With a 21 and Bluey.
16.
Okay. Svea?
8.
8. Okay. Svea, you're just too focused on Valis to see anything.
Yeah.
Louis, you know Melas very well. If you didn't, you wouldn't get the information that Alstaer gets in this. But you can kind of tell that there are alleyways, there are side streets that the kind of thing that you know like the back of your hand that you played in as a child. And you're kind of like drawn towards those immediately to look for someone following you. Alstair, you're scanning and you pinpoint that about 20 feet behind you, maybe 30 feet, there is a sort of like a slither of movement from the shadows.
He points there.
Sarah's
Hello
puts a hand
there.
on the sword. Oh, we're just going to call out to them.
I see you.
Make me. How are you guys saying this? Are you trying to be like persuade them to show themselves? Are you trying to intimidate them?
We're trying to make them give up the game.
How are you doing this?
Persuasion.
Also
Yeah.
persuasion and Bluey.
I think, Blue is just sort of like maybe a bit worried, but just more exasperated. Like, come on, like. So I guess persuasion. Yeah.
I need to open my D&D.
So I'll roll persuasion.
I think it's a 23, but I'm just gonna.
11. As it is on the dice. No charisma.
It's also its only charisma stat.
What did you roll for persuasion?
23. I think, or 24, I'm struggling.
Louis, when you
24.
first speak out, they pull back into the shadows. But then Alstair, I think
I
either
can see your heat signal.
there's something in the tone of your voice. And I think alerted by what you said, Loran will send a little like dancing light over just to kind of like hover above them, like a little light bulb going ding 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 to make your point even clearer. And you kind of stand there with like with the expectant parent glare, and eventually you hear movement and a figure steps out, and you see a young woman wearing a train conductor's cap with salt and pepper hair, a kind of caramel color, almost like vitiligo. Who you, Brian, sees infrared, yes. And you've all seen this person before, very recently. This is Doria, the keeper of the teleportation circle, and also.
Who?
Yeah.
Don't
worry.
The
one that
person.
Loran was
Sorry.
dissuading Cass from hitting on.
Who?
She's like, don't you know who I am? No, she's not.
Why has she got a weird hat on?
No, I don't know. It's not very fashionable, is it?
No, it's a bit out of sync with the rest of her look.
It's a train conductor's hat.
Why are you wearing that?
Because I run the teleportation circle.
Who are you?
It doesn't matter.
I've never seen this woman before in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My original reason for being here is now redundant because you guys do different things, but I'm still following you because I don't trust you.
What do you want?
You messed with my mind, looks at Loran. And I can tell she looks at the rest of you. You're up to no good.
Can you go away?
Okay.
Up to no good, really.
If you tell me where you're going. What did you say, Sia?
Up to no good, really. How can you tell?
Sneaking away.
It's not very nice here.
I don't know. Maybe
You
we're
put the
just
whole town
walking
into
here.
You're just walking here.
We're walking here.
Sorry. I don't know where that came from. I'm walking here.
You put the whole town into some kind of protective custody.
Yeah.
And
Who are you
what have you
again?
been doing to the town? Really?
What's her name?
Doria.
Doria,
Doria.
Advisora. I've been providing a service to the town.
By being a train conductor.
Not quite a train, teleportation circle.
Well, why have you got a train conductor's hat on then?
Because
Station.
in this world, we don't have trains. We have teleportation circles.
We have choo-choo trains.
Yes, in Melas, we don't have a train. I love trains. I've always loved trains. Ever since I was a little girl. No.
Well, maybe you should make choo-choo trains instead of following people you don't know.
I think this town could do with a model railway museum.
Yeah.
We-
I think that would be a better use of your time in the last days of your life. Hours.
And to be clear, that's not actually a threat.
I'm just telling the truth, I suppose, is how you'll phrase it.
We're going to face something dangerous, and if we don't succeed, then...
You all die.
Well, that was... How long does
I'm
the
going to be very
cruise
honest with you, if you'll allow me to be.
Oh, you should
Oh,
be,
we-
because I'll be able to tell if you lie.
Yeah, we actually only want to hear the truth from you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's what guys, I just said I'm going to be very honest with you.
Okay, go.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you next.
You hate me, don't you?
I really don't like it. I just don't think it really works with your whole ensemble or really your approach to us. I think you should have something a bit scarier on.
I'm going to be entirely honest with you. She kind of just nods and takes the criticism, and it just kind of like hits her in the face like a conker. I was instructed to follow you to the docks.
Why?
Because I'm going to tell you.
Anytime today.
Okay, right, guys.
Let's bully the shit out of Dora.
Guys, the reason I'm taking so long is because I'm pausing for dramatic effect. Also because someone looks at Loran, meddled with my brain earlier, and I'm feeling a bit slow.
Well, if he actually met you, I probably would have met you too, and I really don't remember you, so I think you're lying.
Would Bluey recognize this?
What? You recognise this as the person that Cass was hitting on, and then
Yeah.
Loran dissuaded him from it.
You have absolutely no idea if Alstaer is actually not remembering or just being a dick, because I rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
I'm impenetrable.
Okay. Doria says, right, I need to refocus. I was instructed to follow you. I felt that I would be better served confronting you and then coming with you wherever you're going.
No, I don't think so. You'd be a burden with that silly hat. You don't really fit our aesthetic.
Did Clara send you?
Don't throw holy water on me, she says to you, Alstaer, as you hiss. Yes?
Ew. That explains the bad hat.
Right, look. I'm going to just be very frank.
I thought your name was Doria. Flo's like, no, Alstaer.
We know that you, looks at Bluey, have been communicating with Solari. Okay? We know. We just know that. But you don't have her here. You don't have any kind of religious figure from the town here.
Okay.
You don't think I could be of any assistance to you? Make sure you don't die?
Well, you're just a bit annoying.
Don't be annoying, but still useful.
Can she?
I suppose you can be useful, and we're not responsible for your safety.
You very likely might die.
So if you would
Mom
like to
says
live,
this point says,
you can go back
I-
and go into that protective circle.
It's a good
well,
idea.
actually, when I tried to climb into it, I was throttled by a giant,
Oh.
like, tree creature.
At least you'd be held in its loving arms.
I did not feel love from those arms. In fact, I felt a very intense inability to know whether or not it hated me and what was being a dick, or whether it genuinely didn't know who I was.
Isn't that the best kind of love?
Just like my dad. Anyway. Mum says Val at this point says, I don't think we should trust her.
No, at least not until she
Trusting her
changes
was
her heart.
definitely not an option.
But you'll let me come with you.
I don't really see the point because we have a magic gem that can tell us where to go, so.
So you don't want me to come with you?
It's really Bluey's choice, but you'll probably die and you're kind of useless anyway, so. Why not?
See, the way you first phrased that, I thought this was because you wanted to threaten Solari. And then it kind of took a hard pivot to, oh, we could help you.
Well, no, look. I was just being honest about why I was here.
I could just turn her into a cricket or something, and then you could hop the way for us.
I mean,
Dance, cricket, dance.
I mean,
Are
if
you
turn me into a
genuinely
cricket,
trying
you
to
can
help?
turn me back.
What's your motive in all this? Survival.
I remember who she is now. She was the one who was staring at Cass's boobs earlier.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I'm glad you remember that. The motive is
it Cass's boobs? You can be honest with us.
Really, we'd prefer it if you're honest with us.
if Tiamat really is coming, then she's not going to just appear. I ran a teleportation circle.
Thought you were. Never mind.
Now I'm not a trained I get it. I know. Choo choo.
So you're thinking
But I
about
just have the
teleporting everybody out. Is that the point? Because that would be ideal, actually.
But what makes you think that Tiamat would come here first, considering Tiamat is a deity who's worshipped all across the world?
Well, she might get out.
Well, if she
Where would you
escapes
teleport to?
through...
Because teleportation's kind of broken.
But if... Oh, that's a fair point.
I like. Look, can we talk about this when we're on the boat?
There's a boat.
She points, and Lynn is just standing there, like 100 meters away, like, guys, the
Oh,
boat!
right.
We
Okay,
have
let's
to.
go.
We have to wait to drop off the child.
Yes, what...
Why don't we get on the boat and then see if they appear?
Loran, did you get a reply from Cerelleras?
I did. I was just enjoying the show, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh dear.
Do interrupt.
It's not
I
good
love
when he
hearing
does
your
that.
voice.
Okay, let's all load onto the boat, and then I will talk to you more.
Is Cerelleras coming?
That answer sounds like a no.
Well, it's not a yes. It's not a no.
What did they say?
Well, so I spoke to Cerelleras directly. They're lovely.
Are they?
They're quite charming. Terrifying.
Not really. Not really.
I'm not like, yeah, I suppose I'm not the scariest, you're scarier.
Hmm.
But, regardless, they seem to be having some trouble with the door.
Why?
Well, you know how sometimes magic just works the way it's supposed to get the maximum comedic effect out of something? As we were talking, I could almost hear the distressed creatures of Dural wrestling with the handle trying to get it open, and he just can't. They are worried for their life should Dural turn their ire upon him. But they do not seem to be plussed at the moment.
Can't they open the door themselves?
It's a very good question. It doesn't seem to be possible.
Why?
I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something bold. Are you ready?
Bold and brave.
And Loran will attempt to Misty Step. And there's a poof of mist. And he is like an inch away from where he started. So I was trying to go over to the boat.
That wasn't very good.
No, it was very bad. It's not the worst I've ever done. I'm thinking that the
worse.
longer we prolong whatever this is, the more deterioration is going to affect the teleportation magic of this world.
Right. Alstaer starts walking towards the boat.
Good.
Oh.
Yes, I agree. And Doria at this point says, "Yes. So what I was actually saying, I wasn't going to offer to.
Come along, Doria.
So I'm coming. Do I need to
Yes.
explain myself? Yes. Okay. She looks to you, Slayer. I wasn't actually offering to teleport the town. I know that might be sweet, but it's actually not really possible.
Yes, I forgot that the
Put them on a
teleportation
choo-choo.
cycle was broken.
Choo-choo.
You will be assigned to Valis duty. He has permission to stab you if you do anything distrustful or untrustworthy.
He falls asleep at random intervals, apparently.
Okay. You guys are happy with not knowing all the motivations as to why I came here.
Well, we think we could probably kill you quite easily if you did anything wrong.
Okay.
I like to eat people.
So,
I
your
could also-
motivations to coming.
Okay, so one person is interested. Let's get on the boat. And you kind of all make it to the dock in time, and Lynn is just staring like,
Hi, Lynn.
I've been standing here for ages waving at you.
It's a bit of a waste of time to continue waving when we saw you in the
I was
first place.
just trying to raise my voice.
You have a very small voice.
We were trying to see if we could safely get this child home, but
I do have some questions. Why do you have a child with you, and what is she doing here?
Perfectly
Questions,
valid
questions, no time.
questions. Yes, we need to go.
Okay,
Onwards.
fate rests in your hands, I guess.
Alstair's sprawled out on the side of the boat and he looks like he's enjoying the weak sun.
Okay, Loran puts an arm around you and kicks up his feet. It is a tight fit, and Bluey, as you settle in, you look over your shoulder. Mom says Val does not get in the boat with you.
Oh, his NPC usefulness has run out. He's not
Loran's like, what does that mean?
I don't know, I just feel like he's not programmed to go beyond this point. I feel like he would glitch out of existence.
Would I?
No, you're a permanent NPC.
I don't know what that means. But Bluey, Mom says Val looks at you and he says, yeah, my skill set doesn't really help you beyond this point.
Go pay child support.
thank you for absolutely everything. Good
We
luck.
probably could have done it without you.
Tunnel hearing. I'm just listening to you.
Go to that druid grove. It's probably the safest place to be.
It is, because I made it.
Thank you, Alstaer, and thank you, Bluey. I'm going to hole out there.
The
I will
trees
send
are
messages to anyone who you wish to. This might be your last chance to speak to people before you go. Is there anything you wish to say to anyone?
Is okay. The boat with the people from
Masai.
Ryan's, Masai. They have still probably not arrived yet.
No.
They're having a nice cruise
Um,
of kelp-based dishes.
if a boatload of people from Praia arrive somehow at Melas first, direct them to the Druid Grove if it's still up, I guess. Specifically, if you see Aishi, then
I'll pass on your regards.
You're overestimating how fast those boats are, Bluey.
Slow boat.
okay.
Charity says.
I purposely picked the slowest one.
Do we get the vibe that, like, this is our last opportunity for sendings, period?
No.
Okay.
But
Just
yes.
Loran or
unless you guys just. Well, look, if you're asking Loran's opinion, he would say, "Well, yes, I think I get the impression the longer that we leave things, the harder it's going to be to pierce through the veil of between each plane."
And if we fail, everyone's going to be dead anyway.
Precisely, which is why I'm glad that we're here together, so that we might die as one. Except I'm immortal, so. But anyway, as are you. Okay. Anyway, the impression I'm getting from the finality of Moms's tone is that this might be your chance to easily do it.
I mean, I just
But if you want to know, I asked my mother for pictures of our cat, Lala, and her reply was, "He moves too fast."
That's wonderful. I love that.
Oh, that's great.
He's a blah.
This is Basil.
Oh,
He was so rude the other night.
baby.
He's so fat. He weighs like 5 kilos now.
He really does.
They've been overfeeding him. I cannot feel his ribs anymore.
It was so sad.
He's so chubby.
But in other news, Lala was giving us this kind of cuddles, which was wonderful.
Lala's such an angel. No.
Oh,
Look at his satellite dish ears.
He like flopped down and threw himself on us.
Mm.
He must have ready to bath.
He also slobbered in my eye and my eye swelled up.
It was really intense. I was worried. Look at you.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats.
I was worried. Anyways.
The allergy goes down depending on how long I'm exposed to the cat. But
You're usually not exposed to the slobber.
so when you have a cat allergy, it is the slobber that you're allergic to.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Not the fur.
no, it's the slobber. So Lala slobbered all over my hands, and then I rubbed my eye, obviously, and it swelled up.
Oh no.
Mm.
So yeah, that's fun. I should take a photo.
As I'm just gonna continue if you're okay. As you guys
does have ascending.
Okay. You guys all clamber into the boat. Molms's now takes his place on the dock. You have your sending.
Slia sends a message to Farinia.
What?
And it's just, I love you. I will always love you. And that's it.
To which Farinia responds, wait, oh god. Hang on.
The tree swaying.
This is really tough. Sia, your natural insight is enough to know that those words are going to sound to Farinia like as if you're about to die. And you're sending this message. Are you okay with that?
I mean, that's
kind of it.
That's kind of it,
That's
yeah.
kind of it.
This is goodbye.
Farinia says, I love you, there'll always be home for you here. I'm still waiting. And I'll never stop. You're coming back. And that's what she said. There's a little bit of quiet on the boat. And Loran messages you in your mind, Alstaer. And he just says, I get the feeling that I'm not sticking around very long either. You know what I mean when I say that.
The next time you wake, you'll remember. Unless I die before that.
Then I apologise in advance for the person that I am. Sounds like a real ass.
I love the person you are and always have been. He'll offer his hand to Loran.
Loran takes it and gives it a squeeze and just says, I'm in your capable hands.
Also has got his eyes out on the sea then.
It begins and ends with the sea then. Or a dock.
Still not your type?
Shaping up.
Better disappoint Kitas then.
Alstaer, as you sort of look out to the ocean, the kind of lull of the sea, you feel just a shiver up your spine.
That's not good. So I don't get cold.
And it's almost like some of the most meaningful moments of your whole life in terms of this quest at the very have revolved around the water. Meeting Loran on the Fang, pirates, the betrayal in the high seas. Crawl's execution even happened near the edge with the ocean in view. Even the route to the Underdark and the Temple of Abundance were both flooded.
I think what also will do is just lean against Loran and he will then slowly shut his eyes.
You shut your eyes and you feel that overwhelming grey shadow just kind of fill your vision. Not quite nothing, but your senses, they have a way of tuning out the back of your eyelids and all that you see there. And instead filling your vision with more inventive imaginings, your memories, your thoughts, your hopes and dreams. But Moss, precisely. But when you close your eyes, you can't help but see that grey, and within it, two very bright golden lights, like pupils.
Insight check.
You may.
Someone staring back.
15.
It's almost as if someone is staring back, yes.
Mm.
And those rays of colour.
He will open his eyes and look straight across at Valis.
Valis is looking at you.
You alright?
I'm fine. He blinks his eyes one at a time, just about.
Okay then. Let's hope your parents show up soon.
I'm sure they will. One of them at least.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lynn says, I'm going to take you out then, if you're ready.
Blue pulls out the painite. Actually, does Brian have it?
Brian still has it. I
Alright.
think.
Blue will ask for the pay note.
Oh yeah. Did I not give it to you already?
I thought you were safekeeping it.
Rosa looks concerned.
It's in my pocket. He'll pull it out.
Oh,
No, is that you?
He hands it over.
thank you. Is it? I can't remember what the decision was. Can Bluey attune to it? Is that a good idea?
You can use it without attuning to it, I think.
Yeah, so there is a difference between using it to channel magic like Loran and Alstaer have done in the and having it on your person and it being used as a divination device.
Okay.
In that respect, you don't necessarily have to attune to it yourself. But you will need to contact Lapis so that she knows to reach out to you as best as you can.
Okay.
Which Loran against.
Oh, okay. I guess Bluey would, as we're going along, Blue would be looking carefully for any myths that seem to gather, just in case someone's already trying to reach out.
There is a constant low fog over the ocean. It's that kind of day when there's a haze and everything. The mists, if they're coming, will come for you when you least expect it, you get the impression. But
Okay.
you're high alert, and Lynn pushes out from the docks towards the ocean. And the boat set up, it's a large rowboat, and she has enlisted Saraza to pull one of the other oars. And also, you don't miss that as Saraza is rowing, he kind of looks up at you to just giving you a strange, preoccupied kind of look. Again, directed just at you.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah. I'm gonna just finish narrating the
19.
I'm gonna finish narrating the scene and then I'll address it.
Yeah.
And you guys begin to pull out, leaving the docks, leaving Momsversvald, leaving Melas, leaving a prayer. There's a moment where you can see the ocean floor, and then it just falls away, deepening until it's just opaque blue.
Goodbye, crabs.
With that mist haze spilling around the edges of the boat. Lynn is directing Saraza, and she pulls her oar and they turn to go parallel along the coast. White cliffs, white shores. And then further out into the ocean. Alstaer, with your insight check, Saraza is concerned. Specifically, you think, by the Painite incident just then. Very brief, but noticeable.
Alstaer kind of turns into Loran and curls up and looks away.
He passes his lips. Saraza says, and just nods. If anybody needs any water or a break before we continue, he calls out. I'm happy to take one.
I'm gonna have a little nap.
Lynn says, it's going to be a little while before we're out in the ready to do this. She looks at you, Bluey.
I'm happy to swap in for either of you. Yeah, I'm guessing we follow the shore for a bit.
She nods and says, yes, actually. Doria says, so you know the way to the Tears? Looking at Lynn. Lynn shakes her head. It was your people who paid me to keep him away from this area. And she says, no. Carmentrand from Tiamat. And Lynn frowns and says, yeah, I suppose that is quite confusing. One cult looks like another, I suppose. Doria says, not a cult. Not anymore.
Kind of become a cult.
I didn't mean to.
Maybe you could start your own church, which is the Choo Choo Train Church.
I don't worship. When are you napping?
He shuts his eyes. He peeks one open.
Now you're just looking at me.
Am I really, or are you imagining it?
Chloe.
Doria, what was the final thing that you were going to say but couldn't yet because you had to go?
Yeah, we're going to finish up. Doria looks at you and then shrugs and just says, I don't know when they got distracted, but the Temple of Tiamat never actually learned the extent of Carmentrand's secrets. We never made it to hit the Tears.
So we needed to explain to everyone.
You hadn't made it through the Tears? So I didn't quite hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Temple of Tiamat, no. That's a Carmentrand exclusive. It's why Solari was under such tight watch. Everyone thought she might go back there. She had a sibling. They disappeared too. Well before she did.
So, wait. Her sibling wasn't found by the church?
I don't know. I'm not that central.
I hope it was an escape rather than Anyway.
We've had tabs on both of them. But like I said, I'm just the teleporting train conductor. She looks at you, Star. Alstaer.
Alstaer, who's that?
Who's that?
Hey now.
Yeah.
But you should be a train conductor, really.
One day maybe.
Maybe you should make them bigger than the little model trains. Maybe one day we could actually ride on them.
Maybe. But anyway.
I think it could work quite well if you had some druids, converting like some kind of combustible material.
Loran puts his hand up and says, I could make the mechanisms and the fuel. Alstaer could
burn.
Well, I was also thinking you could mould the tracks of the earth.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Like tram tracks?
This is not why I'm here. I want you to... Bluey. Bluey. Like I said, I'm not a central figure. I don't know half of the details you're asking. But we never made it to the Tears and I want to go. And that's why I'm here.
You might die.
Well, at least I know the truth.
And we're all probably going to die anyway.
Okay. I accept that. I understand the world that I'm trying to bring about might be dangerous.
Emma, just so I know for 100% certainty, Doria has not gone through the trial because she is not a resident.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, cool.
At which point, she would have. Yeah, she's old enough. At which point she would have gone through the trials if she had been a Melas resident. But she's not. Like,
You weren't at the meeting, were you?
I left. Something compelled me to. Looking at Loran. Loran smiles.
So you wouldn't have heard what I was able to unearth with the help of the old people. Whether they wanted to actually give that help,
But Louis, would it help if I told you that that is not necessarily my concern?
I'll just
Or would that make it worse?
in case you wanted to know a bit of why this place is significant to Melas. It's significant for other reasons.
I know enough, if that's what you're asking, to know what kind of place this is.
I guess, like, long story short, it's the reason we're all fucking weird.
Like I said, I'm not very central. But I know enough. Clara was my colleague. Let that settle how much information I understand. Know about this place. And I'm going to just say, with that, as you kind of keep drifting out and half an hour passes of you going parallel to the coastline, we'll take a quick break. 5 minutes or so. Get yourself some tea, get yourself some water.
Water.
Breakfast for you, Anna. And then we will resume in just 5-10 minutes.
Sounds good.
Yay! Okay. The rowing carries on. And this far out from the shore, Valos finally drops his disguise again. And starts like shifting a little anxiously.
You're right, Valis.
I'm cold.
It's not that cold.
Where is chill? Final.
It's not that cold.
Everyone except us.
Blue might get out her snuggie, and instead of acting like a snuggie, it's probably more like a blanket for Valis, as he's much smaller.
Valis, you're a bit weak.
I'm not weak.
I mean, towards the cold. You need to toughen up. We need to put you in a fridge.
I do not need to go in a fridge.
I used to spend a lot of time in the fridge when I was a child.
But you were neglected as a child.
So are you.
You're acting like a baby.
I don't think
I'm not a baby. I'm mimicking you.
I don't think we need to make more ways of neglect.
Alice, why did you just hit yourself? That was very silly.
I'm going to tell Gerald that you made me cry.
I don't think Gerald will punish me.
I think he'll be really upset.
He's my bodyguard. Besides, Gerald knows you had to have a bit of an attitude, Valis.
No, he loves me.
Yes, of course he loves you. Wow, your mouth really does make an impressive downwards angle.
Thanks. He starts sniffling really hard. He's got a little snot bubble.
Ugh, are all children like this?
Anyone have any answers? Lauren says, I don't know. Zaraz says, yes. Yes, they are.
You guys have 2 kids on the way.
Yes, like 3 children coming.
3?
Zaraz kind of...
Don't.
I'm counting Slayers as like a child of
okay.
this boat.
Of this boat.
Boat child.
Boat child. Cyrus is really good with kids.
I like kids, yes.
Why don't you have any? Chloe just losing her mind. Shut up, Alstaer!
As it says, look. Perhaps this is the perfect time to talk about it, considering where we're going. But the world just never seemed to be a safe place for children. And I spent a lot of time looking after other people's kids to keep them from that harm. I didn't want to see a child that looked at all like me going through that. It's not necessarily a case of whether that child was my own or not. It's just that I think it would have hit a bit too close to home if I had to see a child that I had made the decision to bring into this world go anywhere near that kind of strife.
But would you ever have a kid?
If I met the right person.
Oh, well, let's wish you luck for the future that may or may not come.
Thank you, Alstaer. I'll take that exactly as you meant it.
Which was well.
Exactly. When it comes to you, it's best to take things in the manner that they are intended.
Exactly.
Loran adds in, or to misunderstand to the point of hilarity.
No.
Yes.
I don't like being misunderstood. People get angry.
Not me.
No, you just laugh.
I enjoy.
Are we there yet?
Lynn says, Blue, would you mind swapping out?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I should be on rotation for rowing because even though I have put on a good amount of weight, I am still extremely thin.
We're almost there, don't worry. We've only got about half an hour.
Just in case you were going to ask me. And I think even worse than me, you've got Loran.
I am terrible.
He can't do even one push-up.
No. I can levitate.
Can levitate, but that doesn't really help in this situation.
He bites his bottom lip.
That's not a strength training exercise.
I can wiggle my shoulders.
I think you and Sleo might just need to sit at the back.
I wasn't intending in helping.
No, we know.
Was I Slayer? No, not were you. Surely.
I wasn't intending helping.
Slayer? Slean soon.
Is not there.
No.
You are not here. Let's see. I'm alone in this endeavour. I've
She's
been
just-
abandoned by my closest, oldest friend.
She's literally just sitting there staring out at, like, the horizon.
And she is going through a catatonic sadness.
Wow.
From which she will never recover.
Aren't we a
melancholy is palpable.
cheery bunch?
Oh, we are, also, we are. Should we sing some sea shanties? I know one about a boat.
Go on. Sing for us, Loran.
Actually, I don't know any sea shanties. Hang on. That's
You know a song about yourself.
Does anyone have the lyrics to that? I'll sing it again if I can.
Let me find it.
You should sing it in time with our rowing, our strokes.
Yeah. I can sing in time with my strokes. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Lily's found them.
Huh?
Have you found them?
No, I know they were on here somewhere.
That's sad. It's okay.
Hold on.
I will make up
I'm sure with the search of like song or lyrics or something.
I did try that.
Okay.
You got it?
No, I don't have it. I'm making a new song. Okay.
I used to know it off by heart.
The Loran ballad lyrics.
There you go. Anna's got it.
Oh, you found it. Oh my god. Because I was about to literally just get an automatic rhyme generator and make up a song.
Go on, Anna.
I've replied to it to link to it in the general text channel.
Oh, yeah. I'm screenshotting it. Go on.
Excuse me, let me lube up my throat.
Yes, it's been nicely lubed for the Loran song. Anna's face.
As you all kind of like row along, Loran starts singing. And they saw him arrive on his marvelous boat, the carpet at his side. He swam down the moat. It's moat, guys. Everyone keeps misquoting it as boat. Anyway, Loran de Hain, the man himself, he descended down to the docks, and everyone in their tracks stops. And of course, everyone, you hear the song continuing on and on and on about all the wonderful deeds that he has done and the money that he's made. And then there is a line that billows out over the oceans and echoes reverberating back to you. And if there's a one thing he'll be remembered for, it's that he gave lots of money to the poor and pocketed the rest.
When have you given a cent to the poor?
Excuse me. I can't remember how he got to the boat line about how he had a big boat. That's all he knew, it was big.
It was Merlin's riffing.
Yeah, that's not in the original song. It makes sense. Sorry guys, you're gonna have to miss out on that part. But that does not matter. What matters, friends, is that at that very moment, Lynn holds up her hand and says, "Stop!" And Loran says, "I thought I was doing pretty well, not you."
Not you.
Louis, Sarza. This is it. And you put your oars down and find yourself in a spot that is pretty much nondescript. Indistinguishable from any other part of the ocean. And you look out and you can still see the line of the shores, except everybody make me a perception check, please.
18.
15.
Okay, Leah?
And 8.
Wonderful.
Makes
All
sense.
of you, Cass, Bluey, Loran, Sarah's Alstaer, look towards the shoreline. Sleia looks down at her lap. What?
What?
What? Looks up at the sky.
Crazy.
There is a bug. And those of you who scored anywhere above, well, Bluey and above,
Okay.
you notice the shoreline extends unnaturally, almost like the shore has been superimposed over the ocean. This perspective isn't quite right from this point.
The artist didn't have a basic understanding of perspective.
And Lynn says, well, I always kind of thought it was just a trick of the eye. Sometimes the horizon line can blur and make ships look like they're floating in the sky. And I thought maybe the same could be true here. It just made...
No, you're just silly.
I'm going to finish what I was saying as if you didn't call me silly. I thought that perhaps it could be explained away by the shoreline being a mirage or some kind of haze. But it's not. And I know it's not because... At which point Loran says, because this is a well-travelled route. I've taken it before. And she nods. Precisely. It's why I was here. I was supposed to warn away any oncoming travellers. And without fail, every time I did so, the shore would right itself and go back to what looks like it's there on the maps.
That's good.
I suppose. But it also means that something is interfering. Almost like this place exists, but it doesn't exist at all at that point.
So it's probably the tears.
Yeah. Except that navigation, from my experience, doesn't really work right when you're dealing with something like this.
That's why we have a magical rock.
Speaking of, have you made contact with whoever it is you're getting help from?
Help! I thought we were just dropping off Alice.
Everybody looks at you, who is an NPC and disabled, Alstaer, including Valis. He looks at the side of the boat, down into the ocean, and looks back at you. Dropping me off where?
Oh, not into the ocean, Valis.
I just want to sacrifice me to some spooky god.
No, we just want to give you back to your spooky dads.
Yeah, Loran puts his hand up and says, I said that's not necessarily going to be possible.
But then we have to bring him into the tears.
Yeah, so what do we do? I'm not here to present you with
Sleer, what do we do with
solutions.
children? Sleer.
We just take care of him, protect him.
That was really unhelpful, Sleer. Bluey, what do we do with Valis?
Valis says, I can stab things.
I guess if we find Solari in there, then we've got to take care of her anyway, or help her get back.
Lynn says you've got a lot of dependents coming with you.
Yeah, and if we bring Valis in, then if Valis gets a scratch on him, then Jarrell's going to kill most of you. Probably not me and Sleer.
Loran puts his hand up.
Loran.
I just don't think he'll kill me.
It's debatable.
I'm hot.
Yeah, so is his husband, but he does hit him.
Hang on, if the mist can bring anyone anywhere, including bringing Solari to somewhere in the tears.
You want to send Valis via mist post.
What if we asked really nicely?
Could try.
Loran, do you have a sending?
I do indeed. As many as you need. Don't know too many.
Well, her name's Lapis Lazuli. She's in the Shadowfell.
You have technically met her, so it should be fine.
Right.
We're near Tears entrance.
Okay. We're near the Tears entrance.
We've got a child.
A child?
Not a child.
Who
Oh.
probs isn't safe going in with us. Can you teleport child to parents or no?
Or no.
Can you roll me D100, please, Louis? You're doing this on for Loran's behalf.
Alstair's pointing out heat signals under the water with the various sea creatures.
74.
Okay. Loran seems enraptured whilst he's sending the message, by the way. And Bluey, you watch Loran sort of send off that last part of your message.
The six-skilled shark.
Aw, that's cute.
What's a six-skilled shark?
Well, Bluey, you see, the thing is, and he calls you over to the side.
Oh, right.
Just be a D8.
A D8?
One of you, any one of you.
I will send you a photo of a six-skilled shark.
I got 5.
Hang on.
It's almost right down the middle. Hope it's not too. If it's a bad thing, I hope it's not too bad.
Guys, I'm sending you a photo of a 6-skilled shark.
I will boldly say that you see like a storm brewing in the distance and like a kraken's like tentacle just pulling like some like airship out of the sky and into the ocean for fun.
Oh my god, this dude has such big eyes. What?
You stole the thunder from my kraken tentacle with your shark.
I'm sorry.
Well, those people just died.
Oh, yes. Well, that's very sad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Alstair's telling you all about them.
Imagine if it had this face.
It does.
Can that be seen?
Everybody, just to get us back on track. As you
I call him Larry.
As you watch Loran send that message, there's a moment, and then he looks back to you all and says, I heard someone, I don't remember the sound of their voice or who they are, but I assume this is Lapis.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Okay. They just said to be ready.
Okay.
I assume we just throw the child in.
Valis.
What are you doing to me?
We really think that you should not go into the tears.
Not really.
No, because you see, if you come to the tears, well, you might die. And we don't want that because we want to return you to your parents who've only just reunited, and who would be very sad if you died.
If you return me, I'll tell them I died and you brought me back.
No, that's not true, because if that happened, then they can just count the amount of diamonds that Sleer has, and they can just see that you were brought back again as the exact
stolen one.
No, because I think Sleer keeps a very good tab of the diamonds.
Okay, maybe that's true. Right, I'm just overreacting because I don't want to be thrown into mist.
Don't want to be thrown into mist. You're going to walk into mist.
I think he's going to throw me in. He points at Loran. It's true, I am.
It would be more fun if you threw you in.
Yes.
I don't think it would be fun for Valis.
Valis can walk then.
I don't want to walk into the mist of the boat. What if I can't swim?
Well, if you fall into the water, then Larry will save you.
Who is Larry?
He's the 6-skilled shark that we've been talking to this whole time.
Hey, kids! I'm Larry, the 6-skilled shark.
You just see a massive eye in the water.
That's Larry Valis.
Hey guys, I'm Larry, the 6-skilled shark.
I'm gonna write
Whole Harold-like thing. I don't know. Hey kids, do you want to learn about tobacco smoke? And how bad it is for you?
I'm scaring myself a little bit. Anyway.
I even look at you, that's so funny.
Anyway, Larry disappears for a moment.
Okay, Larry's being polite. He doesn't want to overexcite you.
Oh, I do! A single fin just kind of like circles the boat and then is like...
Also sticks his hand in and pats Larry.
I'd like to be pet! Thank you.
If anyone else were to touch him, you might lose your hand.
Battle scars! I don't know who this is.
It's Larry!
Away now.
It's my new favourite character.
Right. TMI, right there. And I will need at least Bluey and Alstaer to make persuasion checks to see if they can get through to Valis.
Okay.
Convince them this is a good idea.
The chance you could ride Larry Valis. That's a natural 20. Look.
Oh my god. Wait, oh, I want to see it on that dice too. Battle scores.
Larry's really convincing, you know. Bluey's not convincing. It was Larry that gets Valis through. It's scary.
Wow.
I can't go. No, please.
Oh.
I can't get up. Hi guys. This
Oh,
is
no.
where it ends.
It ends with
Not with a bang, but with a kiss. Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
Larry attacked me.
guys, can we finish? Can we go? Game. Okay. I'm
Just
gonna.
one doing all Larry lean-ins.
That's kind of fun. I'm just having a good.
Uh-huh.
Right, so
Dallas really wants to ride Larry.
Alice is like, actually, all of a sudden, I feel like Loran throwing me overboard sounds like a fun idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
because who wouldn't want to jump in the water with a big shark?
I wouldn't, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Because some weird thing inside of me says that I must.
Mm.
I am a child. This logic makes sense to me.
Larry won't eat you. Right, Larry?
Larry just gurgles and is not coming back.
Oh, you scared him off.
But anyway, that tragedy aside, as you sit there, Bluey,
So he's lost the will to live.
and you have the lapis, and holding it kind of in your hands, fiddling with it, it feels very cold, much colder than you'd expect. And of course, it's not lapis.
Mhm.
You remember that after a moment, just like Emma did.
Oh, yeah.
And turning it in your hands, it maintains that. Wow, that's beautiful. It's sparkly.
It's a goldstone.
I love it.
Yeah, blue goldstone. It was called. Yep.
That's
Nice,
lovely.
nice eye. That's
I do have a crystal empire. I'd be disappointed if I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. Goldstone has that unique kind of sparkle to it. And boy, holding it in your hands, you start to notice that kind of mist that's been hanging over the oceans just kind of like collect and pull around your fingers, and all of you looking now like tendrils, like fingers, it reaches up over the sides of the boat and just pulls down around your feet and your
Spooky.
I think I'd try and make some space on the boat. Also, I'll retrieve my snuggie just in case. I
Yeah.
do want to keep that. I'm very sorry about this.
So if he fell into the water with that on, it would be a bit unfortunate.
Ballas picks up his feet around and clutches his knees, getting a little uncomfortable with his feet dangling in the bottom of the boat.
You're going to go back to your dad's now, Alice.
Oh, I was going to the Shadowfell.
Well, they're going to try. Hopefully, the mist can take you through the Shadowfell to your dad's. Kind of how it works.
Via the Shadowfell.
Yes.
I've been transported by the mist before. I think it's only scary when you don't know what's happening, but you have the benefit
Inside the mist.
of knowing that you will come out the other side where you need to be.
With your loving parent and other parent.
I would like Louis, Sleer, Alstaer, the three of you to make intelligence. Just very quickly. Very quickly.
Intelligence check.
Natural 20 again.
Oh, beautiful.
Look.
Leave you out of that dice.
Also natural 20 on that Phoenix dice that y'all
We're really
got me.
smart today, guys.
Wow.
Wouldn't it be great if all three of us?
That would be rad.
Aww.
At least it's got a 2 in it.
Yeah. Louis, you're like, right, time to say goodbye to Valis. It's gonna be a good, it's been a good ride. Bye bye bye. Bye bye. You don't really think critically about the steps that are coming, what is ahead. Alstair and Swear. Two of you, as Valis kind of prepares himself to leap into the mists that have started gathering around the ships, whatever that means. The ship, whatever that means. I just stare out of it. And you're just like, this is nice. And then you remember back. Loran before the memory. The conversations you had with Lapis. Dragonborn, Serena, about Shadowfell, all of the knowledge that you've gathered. And just a little gnawing in the back of your head reminds you of a phrase that you once sort of heard in passing, something that Loran mentioned and others, which was that the mists often have their own agenda and their own biases. They're an entity that is outside of any one person's control.
But don't they like Bluey?
Sorry?
They may like Bluey, but they have their own agenda regardless. So sending Alice
So there is a risk. It's a measured
risky.
Should we message Jaral and say, would he rather we send Valis through the mists or take him into the tears?
Loran says, I would love to. I'm a bit worried about using too many spell slots though.
Sleer?
I have the magic for it, yes.
But should you do it?
Probably
but
not.
But this feels like
honestly.
something. This feels like something that needs parental consent.
If
Valis says, I can choose myself.
Right, Valis. So
they also told me it was a very good idea.
No, Valis, I'm going to just walk you through the options.
Okay.
So you have option 1 of staying with us and going pretty much to certain destruction and fighting. And we have no idea what's actually in the tears, but we are eventually going to end up at the end of the world, fighting a very nasty man who is going to bring forth a demonic or eldritch or draconic entity that plans to roast all of humanity alive. Or you can go into the mists and end up in a land which is very shadowy and dark. But you'd probably be with Lapis.
I'm not afraid of the dark.
But then you would be alone. So you get the option of going into shadowy dark place alone. And hopefully your parents can find you because they also like shadowy dark places. Or you come with us and it's going to be very dangerous and we will do our best to protect you, but then we might die protecting you. Okay. Those are the options.
What? Is there a third one?
No, I mean, you could just sit on the boat with Lynn.
In the grove?
Yeah.
It's not terrible, that.
Lynn, would you like to take Valis back after we've left?
I assume no responsibility for this.
I think you should try and take him back to the grove. I think he wants to go back to the grove.
You summoned all this mist.
Yes, but then we thought about it.
Maybe you guys should vote on his future.
Maybe Valis should decide.
Valis is like...
Go on, Valis. You can go sit in the grove until it's all over. Probably think you should.
I would like you to vote because I am not sure what to do.
I vote for grove.
Leah?
I think the grove would be the safest option.
Yeah.
Louis? Loran says miss! For fun.
Tarza?
Grove. Boring.
Well, we needed to summon the mist anyway, so.
It's true.
Right, Lynn, you will be taking Valis back.
Okay.
If an angry man with short dark hair and a nonplussed man with short dark hair turn up, then those are Valis's parents. Just let them take him, otherwise you might get stabbed.
They would be able to get into the grove, right?
No, they would, because they're not from the Church of Tiamat.
You might kill everyone in there, Loran says.
No, they won't. They won't.
Okay.
I don't think they will.
It would be weird if they didn't try.
Are you okay?
I don't know. It's crazy. I'm getting into weird headspaces.
Right. Mass murder is not a weird headspace. It's a bad headspace.
Yeah. I was also thinking that. I was judging myself as I was saying it.
Anyway.
Sarah's at this point says, please, can we make a choice?
Yes, he's going back to the grove. We made a choice,
Right.
Sarah.
Right, so then what do we do?
We're going to go in there.
Lynn says, well, I don't know what you're going to do from here, but I assume you're going to do something.
I just told you we're going in there.
And she looks around.
The tears. With Bluey's painite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mists. You were unnecessary.
Well, don't speak too soon. Bluey, as you sit there holding the painite, you feel that cold, and the mists are still swirling around, and you get the compulsion to act, to do something with this lapis, to start this process. And I want you to describe to me how it is you're handling it as we start this.
Bluey slowly puts her tongue to it.
Oh my god, you actually.
Also looks horrified.
Okay, right. So you're just like, I'm going to take this actual piece of lapis lazuli. You're just like, I didn't actually touch it. I just wouldn't. That would be gross.
Bluey, don't lick painite.
Huh?
Now, guys, I swear to God, I did not imagine this image when I planned this moment. But
The tongue is an important organ for sense.
It's the strongest organ. Well, it's the strongest muscle in the human body.
not my strongest organ.
I'm glad it went there.
Sarah says, not my strongest muscle.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You're all stupid.
Right, guys, I had a moment I wanted to talk all about. Anyway, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Bluey, as you touch your tongue to the painite, and also is like, ha?
Ha?
There is a sort of like forceful pull from the stone, which has your hand moving upwards and holding it aloft.
More like a tongue.
Your tongue kind of like gets a little bit like, because it's cold, like a little bit burnt, like. But you're holding the stone aloft, and the mists are swirling around the foot of the boat. And it's so much so now that the ocean itself is obscured.
Oh, I hope Larry's okay.
And from within the stone, as if sunlight is refracting off of it, blue rays begin to kind of like one by one pierce. That's so it. Pierce through around you, like fanning out until they fill the whole skyline. And Bluey, you feel a moment of pressure building. And you feel intensely that there is going to be a point of no return where this pressure is going to build and it's going to release. And then whatever this stone is doing will be done.
Brian, Sleia, Lorraine, Sarah, hold on to me.
Iconic.
Sleia agrees, does the things.
Alstaer hugs Bluey's leg.
Guys, feel my bicep.
You all reach forward, holding her, and Bluey, you feel an extra hand as Doria does the same.
Oh yeah, and you. Sorry. Bye, Valis. Thank you, Lynn.
Valis is almost reaching forwards, but Lynn pulls him back and is like, I'll look after him.
You can have a ride with Larry.
I'll look after him. And there is a build until the boat itself is shaking. And there is a flash of blue mist. And you stumble with this strange lurch of shifting from the sort of slow bobbing of sitting atop the ocean to the hard ground of solid earth, unmoving beneath you. Bluey, you hold the painite in your hand. and the mists pull back from around you. The one untouched force, the one thing that is not yet affected, it seems, by the teleportation magic. And there is a moment where you all gather yourselves, check that each one of you is there, whole and safe. And then Bluey, you turn. I think you're the first to see, and then each of you in turn where you were standing. It is a cliffside obscured from behind by a large wall of grey rock. You look up and you think to yourselves, you could certainly climb that, but it's quite high.
Could I nature check the rock?
Yeah.
Could I assist? Sorry, could I assist?
You may, yeah.
Assist? I don't think I'm going to get better than that, so if Aelin wanted to roll, that's fine.
You're rolling with advantage, I think.
I don't think I can get better than that, but I'll try. No. It's Larry. He's great. I accidentally deleted my D&D page.
It's fine. I'll keep describing for a little bit whilst you do it.
It was a nature check, right? So it's probably a 9, which means it's probably a 28.
Okay. So
let me just check.
There is a certain unnatural energy to this rock. It is exactly the thing or the substance that's preventing you from making that connection earlier when you were casting your territorial knowledge spell. I can't remember what it was called. Commune with nature.
Commune with nature.
Also, you know on a base instinct with Sleer's help that if you tried to climb this rock, you'd never make it to the top.
Can we walk through it?
Well, you're staring at it and then you look down at your feet and there is like a large semicircle of grass and you kind of follow the curve of the rock around and you realize you're standing against a curved cliff face, and if you turn around, there's a whole other scene behind you. The path that you're on, this like sort of semicircle of grass, drops off about 5 feet ahead of you to a lagoon, an enclosed lake of beautiful turquoise, almost green water. And there is this rushing sound, smooth and consistent.
Waterfall. Like the one Sarah used to stand under and cry.
And the image that you see ahead of you is so striking and so unlike anything that you've seen that at first you're not 100% sure what you're looking at.
Mm.
It appears to be the carving of a woman's face in the stone. Colossal. Absolutely massive. Exactly. Crane your neck and you'll see it. Sort of height. From each of her eyes pour 2 waterfalls, which connect to the same lagoon at the bottom. The longer you look, the less it looks like a carving. Every facet of this seems to have been hewn, naturally eroded. And you're struck with the weird connection you felt to Eldrelith, the dragon at Eldrelith's Watch, that petrified body so perfectly preserved.
Common trend.
Connection to
Nature check?
Eldrelith.
Oh no, I mean in terms of visual similarity, how Eldrelith is petrified, therefore turned into stone. This looks similar in that regard, like it was almost a woman petrified in stone.
Could I nature check to confirm that?
You could do.
Uh, 15.
With a 15, that's a fairly sound guess. You also think It's not a huge leap of logic, considering one of the wonders of the world is literally colossal bones, remnants of an old creature that used to roam the earth in Yggdrasil, which you've seen, all of you.
It's a petrified lady, I think. It's very big.
So she's always been dead in a way?
It's bigger than Titania.
Much bigger.
I have to tell Titania.
Lauren says she won't be happy.
No.
The grass kind of platform that you're on, it's sort of staggered. So you have that unscalable cliff face behind you. Your like circular platform. It's like a half moon, and it drops down. And either way, you can go left or right. Both lead towards either the left-hand waterfall or the right-hand waterfall.
Can I?
And it's for you to decide which way you go.
Can I?
Louis?
Does the paint art look like it's giving any hints, or just looking nice and doing nothing?
Make an investigation check.
Put it in your
Put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Um,
No. I can't use my brief foresight on an investigation check, surely.
No.
It's a
Could I
natural one.
wait before you say anything? Because I didn't hear that. Could I potentially help with the painite if Bluey's looking a bit struggly?
It's an investigation check, so it's pretty a straightforward check. You wouldn't have to do anything too crazy to help.
Okay. Can I just go up and help her?
Help action? Or
Investigation.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is 17.
Okay. With that, I think you kind of help Bluey look away from the painite itself and towards the kind of rays that are kind of bouncing off it still, very faintly. It's starting to fade. And you do see that the ray, it's stronger, slightly stronger to the left and to the right.
To the left, to the left.
to the left now.
But as I'm just going to tell you, as you kind of make that assumption and kind of follow that path, moving towards it, almost as soon as you kind of make that choice, the blue light from the stone completely flickers out and dulls.
Oh, shit.
And it is as it is, just a stone.
Well, anyway, let's keep going.
Okay.
Might I please have a marching order?
I'll go first with Bluey. Willing arms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slayer stays close behind them.
Okay. Celia, Loran is right beside you with Saz and Doria bringing up the rear.
Okay.
Cass is there. She's hovering in the back.
Excuse me.
Cass is like, I'm here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cass. You've been super helpful.
Yeah. But anyway, you start moving towards the left, and that painite, it dims and fizzles out. And as you move, you feel almost the gravitational pull just leading you irresistibly towards the waterfall. And Bluey, it's strange. Because you never expected, I suppose, to come here like this. But you're walking the path that so many of Melas have already taken. The greenery is lush. The water is clear and beautiful. It's the most idyllic scene. And you follow the curve around until you reach the base of the waterfall. It takes far longer than you would have expected. The perspective here doesn't work as you expect it to. Alstaer, this is setting off all of those little sensory things in your brain which you would usually be comforted by a place like this. But there's so much bent and wrong with the mechanics of this location that it is hard to say. And I'm going to say, carrying over that natural 20 from before with your investigation, you get the impression, knowing what you know, what you learnt from Loran and what you studied yourself of Painite, that there is no way that has not influenced this area.
I think we need to be very careful using the Painite.
Okay.
Doria says, "What's Painite?"
You don't need to know, Choo-Choo.
Don't call me Chief. Okay.
Choo-Choo.
Darza says, "Perhaps I'm asking this a little bit on Loran's behalf, but aren't you a little worried about what magic might do here?"
Very. I also think it would be very bad if Loran got his memory back whilst we were surrounded by potential Painite.
Loran says, "I'm not hearing this."
Bluey asks, can I try a bit of magic directed at no one?
What kind of magic?
Well, I was thinking, what is it called? I was thinking, where are you? Sacred flame, but kind of like
Maybe not fire. Do we have anything that's like pricky?
It's not actual fire. It's sacred fire.
it's radiant.
But anything that could burn.
It's true. Can burn.
Yeah. So
Can burn a sinner.
In the book logic, it's like the most like closest thing to Alstair's fire.
cool. Let's not use that. Let's
Pure bolt of radiant solar energy.
No, we're not going to do that. Does anyone have any fun magic, like prestidigitation? Yeah,
Loran,
okay.
stand up.
Right, Loran.
I'm fun.
Okay, make something fun, like a little light or something.
That's boring.
Do something fun, but not dangerous. No.
Okay, I'm going to make a duplicate of myself.
Okay.
How do you want me to go about this?
Just try and use your magic as normal.
Okay. And there's a little pop noise, and a duplicate of Loran appears.
Okay.
Hey, good looking. Hello, handsome. I'm kidding. I've seen a mirror, I'm used to it.
Also, we'll go and examine the duplicate. Does it look normal?
Looks great.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
The duplicate doesn't look like the funhouse mirror.
No, it doesn't. It looks really good.
But Emma, does it look like the normal ones, or is it better?
Lily, listen to what I'm saying. It looks really, really good. Like
too good.
Too good. Like there's a moment where you kind of walk around them where you can't remember which is which for a brief spell.
This isn't normal.
Isn't it? One of the Loran says.
I know, because I saw your duplicates like a night or so ago, and they didn't look like this.
Maybe you weren't looking hard enough.
No, I really was. This one looks a bit too much like you.
The duplicate points at Loran. You think so?
Oh dear.
I think it looks a little bit like it needs some work.
So now there are 2 Lorans.
Loran says, no, I agree with you, Alstaer. It looks a little bit too much. This looks like if a juvenile was to put.
I put a red
I
put a red berry mark on the one I know to be the real Loran.
Ooh.
Right.
I'm infected.
No, you are real.
Mm-hmm.
You, he points at the duplicate.
It has a red berry mark on its forehead.
He holds on to the real Loran.
Loran, can you dispel it?
Don't do this. Don't do this.
No! Also, holds out his hands. No. We're not dispelling the duplicate. We're not doing anything else to the duplicate. It's staying until the spell stops.
A version of Loran lives in this little tears waterfall now.
Right, let's just keep the duplicate.
I really did scare you guys into submission.
I mean, I thought something else was going to happen.
I thought it was going to be like 50 Lorans up here, but this is scarier. Right, Loran 1, Loran 2. Hands. Hold my hands.
I'm Loran 1, both of them say, and put their hand in the same hand.
Oh,
Also puts one in another hand and says, okay, so you are going to stay with me. Both of you.
Which one's the real one? One of them says.
I'm going to use my perception to keep track of the real one.
Okay, make a perception check.
26.
You know which one you think is the.
Okay. Right, so you are going to both stay with me, and I'm going to treat you both like the real Loran.
Everybody else, roll me perception check.
fuck.
Sleia did it good!
Nice.
21.
So yeah, you also know which one you think is the real Loran. It's the same one that also thinks is the real Loran.
Also 21.
Bluey, you are also in accordance with Alstaer.
Okay.
You were there when. Okay.
Sansa, I'm sorry that there are now 2 Lorans.
Better than 2 of me.
That was very depressing. Right, let's just keep going. Lorans, stay with me.
As if I could ever leave.
This is going to be very confusing.
Indeed. So I'm just going to add another Loran to my notes.
Also, it's got a vice grip on both of them. He's like, stay.
Are they able to talk at the same time?
Let's test it, both of them say at the same time. They sit down for a moment, and then they stare at each other, right? And as they stare at each other, both of them in union say, hang on. Wait. Give me a second. Give me a second! Give me a second! Wait. Both of them say, and they saw him arrive on his marvellous boat, the carpet at his side. He swam down the moat, Loran de Haim, the man himself, and they're just kind of like chanting to each other.
Right, please stop.
Okay.
Can you can speak separately though as well, so
The original Loran says yes, and I'm going to make him shut up. And then the other Loran says, make me.
Loran, don't flirt with yourself. Let's just keep going.
Loran pulls out a gag and puts it in.
Oh.
It's really not the time, Loran. We're going to keep going.
This will just help us keep track which one is me and which one is not me.
Does the Loran look happy to be gagged?
Yes.
Sorry, fuck, I shouldn't have screamed.
Why did you ask that question?
Because I thought you might be unhappy. Anyway.
Sorry, guys.
Wait, I also want to test this though. Hold on.
No, don't duplicate yourself.
I would like to Druid craft a flower.
Oh, okay. before. You drew craft a flower.
Yeah.
The whole place goes into bloom.
So there is lots of painite here.
So much bloom that you get hay fever almost immediately.
Not me. I don't get hay fever.
Alstaer.
Mm.
Alstaer.
Alstaer.
Alstaer. What I said. I know it's a new experience for you, but you're scared. That's exactly it. It's a tiny bit of fear. Like,
I dispel it.
do you?
What does
Do I not? I'm scared.
Do you dispel it?
I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Give me a second. I
Need to get my story straight. 18.
Really, also, I saw you put your hand up. I will get to it in a moment.
18.
18. Also, this is a moment where you really wish Zarina or normal Loran were here. It's very much magical theory, and in your mind you have a theory, and you would love a second opinion, but no one here is really capable of that except maybe Slayer.
Okay, what's my theory?
The theory is every action has an equal opposite reaction, and if you create something, it'll be created really, really well.
But if you just
dispel something, it will go away very, very well.
Right. Guys, I know that we all might be a bit sniffy and sneezy, but let's not use magic. He gets his staff out. Yeah?
Everybody, I think we've had appropriate experimentation time for me to talk to you about the tiers, where each one of you, as and when you decide, if you decide to use any magic, will have some fun things happening.
Okay.
Good luck. You might want to try these out just for fun. And I'll tell you this little Easter egg. Lower level magic has lower level fun. Slightly more harmless fun.
Do you know what happened to Alstaer and Ram when they had fun with painite? In a small quantity.
You bet. Higher level magic may have more complex fun attached to it. And the one thing I'm sure you know is attuning to painite and channeling your magic through it has Alstaer and the Ram levels of testing fun.
Alstaer throws his hands up. Nobody use fire. Please.
Bluey, what did you put your hand up to say?
Okay, so
Does everyone fire?
I have a fire. Yeah, no fire. Not that I could do it.
No sacred flame.
Okay. Now that you're saying all that, is a cantrip 0th level? Is it the lowest level you can do?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a cantrip.
Except you can cast. Remember how cantrips do get stronger as time goes on. So if they do damage, it's not necessarily going to be as harmless as prestidigitation, for example.
But Bluey can't cast it up. She can only.
Louis can't, yeah.
Then you're fair. A weird bug just hit me in the face. Many bugs.
Okay. And
Sorry.
The first thing I wanted to try out, Blue wants to put her tongue to the wall.
Does it taste like painite, Bluey?
Bluey,
Yes.
it tastes the same as that other one you tasted. But that's as much as the similarity you get, I'm afraid. Lapis is not here to summon you via this. I will say the mists are kind of clinging to the sky around the lip of that cliff above you, just kind of hanging there. But what were you saying, Bluey? What colour was what?
What colour are the walls?
The walls are grey. We'll finish soon, don't worry. The walls are grey, and the majority of the area is quite green. It's the greenery is very kind of green, moisture, damp forest, earthy. It's it's a very healthy, intense kind of color, and the stone is like a whitish grey.
Okay.
Now, you're moving kind of as you test these the limits of this area, your magic here. And as you do, you reach a point where any further, and you're getting into the territory of the actual water. It's the pathway kind of curves around, rocks kind of crag off, and you're just standing level with the pool that you were once above, looking down. You're now kind of down at its side. And you're sort of like, that's kind of the look of the place you came from. It's sort of like the original curved wall, and then the little ledge, and then another drop, and then the pool step. And then to your left, you have Carmentrand and her tears. It looks like the path continues on through this first length of the waterfall.
Nothing for it.
Across. You're now at the level of the water, so across.
Oh.
Alstaer and two Lorans bump into you.
All right, we're stepping through the water.
Yeah.
Sarah says, if you're all ready. We don't know what we're going to find down there, but
I hope there's lots of weed.
And we can't do magic.
Okay.
Loran says, I mean, buffs might buff you up better.
That's true. And we have two of you now. Can you both cast spells?
No, same place. It's all coming from the same place.
Oh.
But then maybe it's a stronger place.
Just remember, everyone, that if you cast a destructive spell, the damage will rebound on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Most of the time.
We may get stronger here, Moran says. There's nothing for it, like you said.
Sounding very sensible. I am suspicious.
Am I not usually? I'm going to take that as a no.
Anyway, through the waterfall, let's go.
Okay.
There is space to walk to at a time.
I will ducky lead with Lorans.
Do you go first?
Guessing Bluey's, yeah.
Bluey, you want to go first? Do you walk in alone or do you take anyone with you? Because you can go two at a time.
I'll be right behind Bluey.
Bluey, I think Cass will go in holding your hand if you like.
Okay.
Cicely will go next to Sarah.
Cass takes your hand, Bluey, and gives it a squeeze. You ready?
Yeah.
And Bluey, you go into the water, walking straight ahead. Steadying yourself, you kind of put one hand up on the wall, and it is already damp and silty. You have to take careful steps so as not to slip. But one step, two steps in, and the noise of water pounding against stone overwhelms you. And then you are damp, from head to toe sodden. You feel your clothes stick to your skin. Your armor patters, a cacophony like rain against a metal corrugated roof. Bluey, you feel Cass's hand tight in your own. You walk forwards.
I felt a shiver like come down my body as you were describing like the water falling.
I will get to what you see on the other end when everyone is through. Alstaer, you and Tulerin.
My duckies.
One has to sort of like drop behind slightly.
I think Alstaer will be at the front of a flying V.
Nice.
It's like, behave, behave.
And you lead them through. This is a sensation that is less uncomfortable to you, being such as you are with nature, but it's still jarring to go from perfect dry to completely drenched.
Mm.
But there is a sense of being washed away, of something strengthening inside you as you pass through the water here, with Loran behind you. And Swea, gripping hands with Saraza and Doria close on your heels. The three of you push through. The same sensation. From comfortable warmth to biting but refreshing cold. And like walking through hanging silks, you come out the other end, drenched still, I'm afraid. But there is room here for all of you to stand, and you look up, and behind the waterfall is a tall, curved, almost carved in structure. The rock here looks like, though it is solid, water itself, pouring from where you cannot see. And in front of you, there is an urn. Simply just placed there at the center of a semicircle. At which point, all of you are going to level up.
Yeah!
What?
Yeah.
What?
I know it's quite quick after the previous one, but as is the nature of the tiers, the magic here, so strong that all magical essence is amplified, which means each one of you will be moving up to level 19.
Oh my god.
Excellent. Very good. Top is level 19. Ability score improvement. I'm going to take a feat.
I think I have something ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, oh yeah, ability score improvement. So, I could add 2 to charisma and have a +1 charisma. I could do, 1 to charisma and have +1 charisma finally. Or 2 to intelligence to have a +1 to intelligence. Or something like that.
Very
I
cool.
think charisma is the way to go, at least for one of them.
I mean, I feel like that suits Bluey's story quite well.
I don't need to go in yet.
No. Can I, before you guys get lost in leveling up, because we're not going to get into the combat or necessary extras this week.
Mm.
But I will say, as you look at this area with water pouring as if from 6 urns in pillars around you, each of you feel rejuvenated and refreshed. And you know that there is somehow magic to this place. And misconstrued and misunderstood and bastardized as this religion was, whether it should have ever become a religion, or whether it all sprang forth from wanting to control somewhere as powerful as this. You understand a little bit better why Melas is the way it is now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sleia. As a person of faith, in a place as richly powerful as this, is there anything that you do in this moment? Either to connect with your own deities or to connect with Carmentrand?
Sleia, I think, would try to connect to her own deities first.
Yeah. What does that look like?
I think she just kind of sits down, closes her eyes, and just focuses, trying to, I guess, tap into whatever is here. And if she ends up contacting her own deities, cool. If she ends up connecting with Carmentrand, also cool.
Do you have anything to kind of help that process? Any objects, relics?
She just is like rubbing the like the symbol on like the journal.
Are you thinking of the prayer book?
You're
thinking of the
journal. Yeah.
Right.
Like the symbol of the triad on there.
As
She's
you-
just kind of
Yeah.
running her finger along those
Can you make me a
grooves.
religion, an intelligence? No, wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes, please.
Okay. That is 26.
You're fine. But nothing happens. As you sit there, you can't connect with the triad.
If she has the time, she'll try and do the same thing with the prayer book of Carmentrand.
You do have the time. It only takes a second to kind of realize that there's a dissonance here.
Yeah.
And as you kind of kneel here, sorry. As you kind of kneel here, rubbing holding the prayer book in your hands, you do feel a presence. Somehow that you're not alone. And you feel compelled to look at the book.
So you will open the book and just...
Well, don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just sending you if it loads. Okay. This is do you see the picture in the general chat? Okay. This is roughly what the book looks like. And before you can even acknowledge the connection to the presence around you, you notice instead that your finger is following a certain pattern. A pattern that you recall. someone once telling you had a link to the tears. And as you commune with this deity, you see this. Hang on. Sorry, it's not sending. Okay, I'm going to send a smaller photo. Up here. It's still sending, I'm sorry. Yes, it's in general. In Discord. Sorry, it's not loading yet. Hang on, I might try and just screenshot it. Oh, okay. And that's what you see.
Can Slia attempt to share this with the others?
You can show it to the others. It does maintain its glow.
Okay.
But I'm just going to say very quickly, because we're going to wrap the session up in a minute or two.
Okay.
But this prayer book came when you found it in the Siege of Whitecliff from one of the tents of the former clerics of Carntrap.
Goldrick Peacefeather?
Remember, it came unexpectedly with a helping hand. A slight map of where to go, etched into its cover. And as you stand here, on the cusp of entering the tears, having just leveled up, we're going to, I think, leave it for tonight. So that I can go to bed. I need to unwind a little bit before we sleep. And
It
take
is
off my
very
makeup.
late.
Yeah. Thanks for the game, guys.
Thank
I'm in
y'all.
pain, so I'm gonna
Feel
log off.
better. Have a good rest
Thanks
of your
so
night.
much, guys.
Thank
Hope you
you.
enjoyed tonight. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.